So here's a character that I created in PolySketch and rendered out in Unity. It's the adventure character from my other scene. I just wanted to do a short video of how I put this together. I'm starting out with the head, and I'm imagining a sphere as I'm doing this, which helps me shape the face around it. I usually prefer to start out with a wireframe mode when I'm doing something complicated like this because I need it to be a little bit more symmetrical. So it's easier to work this way and then fill in the faces later. I know the ears are a bit pointy right now, but that will be fixed later. I wanted to get the basic idea down before I bothered tweaking it, otherwise I spend a lot of time tweaking it to find out I don't like it later. Here's the head finished. The collar is quite simple. I am just wrapping it around his head like this and filling in the faces and extruding it out. Here I'm starting out with the cuff of the jacket up here by his face because that is where his hand will be holding the binoculars. I am deciding now if I want to finish his jacket first before placing the second arm because I am unsure where I want the arm to be. But I think finishing the jacket will give me a better idea. And here I'm pulling it out so it looks like it's being blown against the wind. Oops, in the wind, not against. So at this point, I finished the shirt, jacket, arms, and pants. And I want to slow this part down so you can see how I detail things. I don't know if I want the pocket flap to lay this way on this cargo pants. But let's see. It looks a bit flat, so I'm gonna cut it and add a little bit more dimension to it. Maybe drape it down a little bit like this. There you go, that looks good. And now I'm just gonna create the little button on top of it and change the color. There you go. So now to make the boots, I am making a circle and extruding it like that. And I do apologize for the cropping because I wasn't aware this was happening in the headset. Since the boots have some complexity, I will be comparing the size back and forth to make sure things like the size of the circumference, the shaft, and the toe cap all fits together. And of course I can do this in a wireframe mode too, but I thought I'd try it this way. Looks almost correct there. The boot's just a little bit too tall, so I'm gonna shorten it a little bit like that, widen the part around the ankle just a little bit, and fix the back siding. And now I'm cutting in and adding the heel and just fixing some parts on the bottom. Just a lot of pushing and pulling to make it look nice. And I can't decide on the toe cap, but I think from the look of this so far, I might want to go with a pointy toe cap. And again, you see it's being cropped off. Sorry about that. And that looks pretty good. Just shrink it a little bit. And yeah, I think I'm liking this. Now I'm just going to duplicate it to the other side. For the binoculars, the process is simple. The color is not what I want right now, but I'll adjust that later. I'm just creating cylinders and extruding them. And here, I'm going to resize it so it looks better. I'm just going to add the rim and realize that it's better if I correct it in wireframe mode. As you can see here, it will allow me to be more precise. And that way I can adjust the vertices more correctly. Just a side note, it may be a bit glitchy if you have a big scene, but so far I haven't had any troubles with it. And here it is with the new color. At this point, my character is finished, and I realize in my video it seemed to have stopped recording. So what I'm going to do now is I'll show you how I created the props. For the map, I basically just drew a line, create vertices in the middle, and extrude it in a swirl motion like this. I'm going to select the inside vertices and shrink them down and just kind of fluff out the ends. Here's a little neat trick you can do by cutting into the paper by adding vertices and deleting the face. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky to select the face if you have a small mesh like mine. But here I'll do it again to show you. I'm just going to replace that map with this one and adjust the color. So to make the backpack, the little sack that he have, it's very simple. It's just a beveled square that I'm going to extrude. Extrude it out, adjust the ends. And then I'm going to create the flap. Part of it's lifted up because it's being kind of blown by the wind. And now I'm just going to add some edges to it to close it off, fill the faces, select it, and then extrude it. And to make the straps, I'm just creating a square and extruding it like the other meshes. I'm gonna pull it up actually and around like this because I want it to be leaned up against his leg. It's very simple to make the patches. I just take the backpack basically and make a duplicate copy and then just adding colors to it. To make the scarf, I am just extruding edges. I will not be adding thickness to it, so it will just be a plain. Like this. I have it in midair like this. The wind's kind of pulling at it. And I'm just adjusting the edges and tweaking it so that it doesn't look too even, I guess, yeah. I added some rocks and grass, but it's basically the same kind of steps that I've been doing. And thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.